That is
They are having
awesome.
a blast.
When I was a kid, it was like
dancing.
Yeah, you bring out the hose, and you may get one of the inflatable, beach balls rolled out in your direction. But man, good stuff, and you've needed it lately, and you won't need it so much over the next few days. Here's a look at what's going on down in Ruidoso. We've had a few clouds working their way through this afternoon, but not much overall. Pretty good setup weather-wise for us today. Not many storms out there. The winds not really gusty yet, and the temperatures getting a little better. But because we are starting to dry out here, we have fire issues, and we have red flag warnings continuing until Friday across a good portion of the state. Really, most of the state going to be dealing with fire weather concerns, red flag warnings in the pink shaded area. In the brown shaded area, we're looking at fire weather watches. And effectively, what you need to know is pretty much the whole state is ripe for the possibility of some fires, especially the lower elevation. So please be careful. We don't want any additional ignitions to cause any problems. 94 degrees in the metro right now. Southwest winds 14 miles an hour. So they're kicking up a little bit for us, but overall, not too bad. 80s and 90s across the north. Still brutally hot from Raton over to Clayton and down to Tucumcari. Close to 100 degrees in Clayton, and we're right there in Tucumcari. 103 Carlsbad. Roswell 99 and 99 in Hobbs. So very warm stuff. But there is hope in our direction here, and we can see that with the 24-hour temperature change. Western two-thirds of the state, you can see pretty much across the board we are cooler today than we were this time yesterday. So that's a good sign that we're starting to filter in some cooler air, and that will continue for tomorrow. Raton and Clayton still very, very warm, and they're going to stay warm through tomorrow, but then things will improve there as well. Looks like we jumped right over the satellite and radar, but what the heck. We'll show you graphically what we're looking at here. What we're going to get is a low-pressure system that's going to dip down to our west here over the next few days. It's not going to move all that quickly, but what it will do for us is start to cool us down. So we've had very hot conditions. We're going to grab more westerly and eventually northwesterly breezes across the state. So we are going to crank up the winds starting tomorrow and through the weekend, but along with those gusty winds, cooler temperatures back down into the 80s for us in most cases. There is the chance of showers as we head toward the back half of the weekend here. But it's looking more and more like that'll be a mix of kind of isolated showers and partly cloudy skies. Initially, it looked like we'd get a lot more moisture in from the east while the low comes in from the west. But now it's looking like we may draw in a little more dry air. So I wouldn't worry as much about showers over the weekend. And you are going to have some gusty winds. But overall, not a bad weekend across the board. So Four Corners looks good for tomorrow. 81 Durango, 83 in Cortez, 88 in Farmington. But the southwest winds will be going for you guys, gusting up to 40 miles an hour. And then the chance of a spot shower over the weekend and into the beginning of next week. South and west temperatures here still hot. 97 in Lordsburg, 88 Silver City, and 95 in TRC, but still an improvement in many of those towns, and gusts up to 40 miles an hour. Southeast, this is the only area that could see a spot storm, but even that's pretty limited. Today it didn't turn out to be a factor. 100 Artesia, 102 in Roswell. Going to stay hot next couple of days, and then the chance of a scattered shower or two headed into the back half of the weekend and into the beginning of next week. North and east, really hot in places like Clayton and Conchas. Otherwise, everybody else going to be in the 80s and low 90s with gusts up to about 45 miles an hour wind-wise, so needless to say, high fire danger. 78 Chama and Pagosa Springs, 90 Espanola, and 73 Red River. Wind gusts up to 40 miles an hour. Santa Fe, spot storms will be possible over the weekend, but still overall a nice weekend. And 79 for a high on Sunday will be pretty good. East Mountains, temperatures for the most part in the 80s with wind gusts up to around 40 miles an hour. And here in the metro area, we will top out tomorrow with our temperatures in the low 90s versus the high 90s, but the wind will be going just up to about 40 miles an hour. And we will stay windy into the weekend with a slight chance of an afternoon shower.
All right. Thank you, Mark. Sports is next.
Cirque du Soleil Alegria, June 9th.